is I'm just going to start over from scratch. And I'll edit the video later. So, alright, let's get back to the main screen. Alright, so quick recap. Wanted to give a brief overview of the game, seeing as it's 50% off, see if people want to pick it up and play it, and then which version do they get. It's hard to really tell what you're getting without having any insight to the game. It'll tell you, oh, you get some heroes. What is that? You get some defenders. Well, what are those? Boosts. What are those? So we're gonna try to touch on all of those. I'm gonna make sure I have the Fortnite page up here so that I can make sure I touch on all of those. Alright, so let's get started. Alright, so the PvE campaign, the Save the World. Once this loads in here, you can see that I'm home base power 50 to give you kind of an idea of that. I've been playing since before the game was released. Let's see, I'm trying to think of when they put the last reset, which was pretty much at launch. And though I haven't been dumping a ton of hours into it, 50 is a considerable amount of time invested in the game. So let's kind of take a look at what you get. I'm going to go here to the armory. This gives you a good brief overview. Heroes. Heroes are your character, what you are playing in the game. So typically, let me back out here, so this is kind of nice because they added this quite a while, or right at launch. They didn't have this in the early versions of the game. And what's nice is this gives you an overview of everything that is currently in the game that you can collect. If you can collect it, it is here. With that said, a lot of things have been added since the game came out, since the early looks at the game from the alpha and beta testing. So that goes into what you're getting for when you're buying the game. So you can kind of see here all the different things that you can. These are all the different heroes you can play. How it works is, like most games, there's that rarity, which correlates to quality, more or less. So if you're playing this hero, there are 4 different rarities that you can get. Now, with this most recent update, if you get a lower rarity, you can actually increase the rarity of that hero. You can make it go from a rare hero to an epic hero, all the way up to a legendary hero. Now, whether or not you want to spend your in-game resources to do that is up to you. There's some pros and cons to each. We won't really get into that too much. Just know that it's a possibility, something you can do. So if you just get the base game, you're going to get a copy of each of the types. So here you see Soldier, Constructor, Ninja, and Outlander. You're going to get a green quality of each of them, and I want to say that you get that one right there is like your first hero that you get in the game. You start out as Ramirez, you go through some of the tutorial missions, you soon unlock a Constructor, and it should be, I believe, this guy right here. You unlock that Constructor, and then you kind of figure out what they do. And really what it is all the heroes. Let me see if I can inspect him here and make it a little bit easier to see. So heroes will have perks. Now all the Constructors have this creative engineering perk, which increases how fast they can build and reduces how much it costs to build things. That sounds pretty good. And then what you get here, all of these upgrades are different based off of which version of that hero you have. Now there's typically a core subset of these. Like all the Constructors have base right at 2, that's standard. So this creative engineering and base all Constructors have. But you see he has a bull rush here, And then you see that little 2-star, that's when you get him to the next tier of his development, he unlocks a new ability. Now, if we back out and look at Tank Penny, you'll see that still creative engineering and base, but she starts with a different ability. She starts with kinetic overload. And then when she gets to 2-star, you see that bull rush, which is what the other guy had at 1-star. Now, typically, from what we've seen so far, is that every character has a possibility of 3 abilities, and if you look at the legendaries, epics and legendaries right now both are the same, so as far as how many abilities they can unlock. Legendary is just giving you the extra base stats, so when you're multiplying your stats, you have a higher base number, obviously you can have a higher maximum. You see that she has kinetic overload, she gets bull rush, she gets that plasma pulse that we saw on the other one. So those 3, by the time you get to that 3rd star or 3rd tier, you've unlocked all of the basic abilities that that class can have. It's just which order you get them in varies, which will make a difference when you're playing early in the game. Once you get to, I would say, home base power, let's say 40, probably 35 to 40 range. Most of the characters that you're going to be playing are going to be at this 3-star mark, so you're going to have access to all the basic abilities. So don't worry about that too much. These level up skills, I mean, think about it as most MMOs. When you level up, you get new skills or new enhancements to skills. It's the same concept here. So you're getting that, hey, this does blunt weapons do more damage. This is actually one of my favorite characters, so I'll say that right now. But shield goes up. This character, as you can see just off of those, is already kind of tailoring to that melee tanky character, which, hey look, her name's Tank Penny. You can kind of guess that. And that's really the playstyle of this character. If you want to run around with a big oversized hammer and beat things over the head, this might be the character for you. And you can see that different characters all have different nuances that do different things. Hey, energy's better. Plasma pulse, that thing that we didn't see at level 1 on either of the other ones we looked at. Level 1 here, already getting a boost to that, so that ability is going to be enhanced. And with energy regen, every character has health and energy. Energy is what you use to sprint. It's also what you use for pretty much all your abilities. I can't think of one that doesn't use it, but don't quote me on that. So obviously you're looking at this, you're saying, hey, energy is regenerating faster and reduces the cooldown of their skill that costs energy. Okay, those two things go together, it makes sense. If you can use the skill more often, you probably want the energy regeneration so that you can still have the energy to use the skill when it's off cooldown. But let's go into the next thing that I got a lot of questions on, and that is defenders. So defenders. These guys, and there's a whole lot more of them now than there were when the game came out. Again, you're gonna get some base ones for free no matter what version of the game you get. You're gonna have access to these guys, and you're gonna get them rather frequently, especially the common and uncommon. You're gonna see gray and green quality all the time. You see here how these, just because we're on a screen that's showing it obvious, there's this little plus. I'm in what's called the collection book, like I said earlier. You can slot things, which is essentially removes it from you being able to use it, but adds it to your sticker book. I mean, basically what it is. And you get, based off of what you put in here, higher the quality. If it has any experience points dumped into it, we'll get into that later. You will get XP in your collection book, and that gives you basically extra rewards as you get higher and higher. You can see that I've got, looks like schematics coming up. I'll get some schematics when I get to level 62. I'll get some more stuff. I'll get, these are, look, I'll get a loot llama, and that's their equivalent of the loot boxes that you can buy. So I'll get some kind of specialized loot llama when I upgrade to that level. Um, so let's not get too into that yet. I want to get to some more of this before we get there. So what is a defender? Long-winded way to get to what is a defender. I know, guys. But so a defender is, the concept of this game is that you can have 4 people in a game. So you will start a game, and I'll walk through that later. You'll start a game. You can have yourself and up to 3 friends or total strangers if you set your game up to allow total strangers to join you, and you can set those in privacy settings. You don't have to play with people you don't like. You can set it to nobody can join you, you can set it to friends can join you, and you can set it to anybody can join you. And let's say that there's only, you're by yourself, you're playing a mission, and whether or not you just want it to be easier or it's just too hard to do by yourself. And I've had plenty of missions where just the concept of the objective is a little bit too hard for one person, or just how the terrain's laid out. You have to be watching multiple sides of your base at once to be able to defend it. It would really be nice to get some help. Here, these are basically NPC helpers that you can summon into the map. So I'm going to back out of here really quick and look at my heroes. So these are the 3 mission defenders that I bring with me into every mission. You can see that their power level isn't nearly as high as this is my hero that I'm playing right now. There's my tank Penny that we were talking about earlier. But if I need, hey, I'm bringing in a sniper, so I can give that character a sniper rifle out of my inventory and some ammo for it, and they will, wherever I deploy them, they will stay in that relative area and shoot things. Really, what more could you ask of them? We go back and look. You can see that there are assault rifle, melee, pistol, shotgun, and snipers. I kind of skipped over somebody. There's only melee. Looking forward to it, guys. You know this is the next thing they're going to add. They've been really doing this whole diversity thing. They used to have, I think it was female assault rifle, male melee, male shotgun, and female snipers, and then they added the opposite sex for everything but melee. So look forward to that being added in there at some point. New things to collect. Survivors, so we'll move on to the next thing. Survivors, these are essentially stat bonuses for you. I mean, it's kind of a little bit of a management page that you can do. I like it. Some people don't like it quite as much. Let's go into squads. So what you get are things called survivor squads. When you first get the game, you're not going to see a whole lot here. You're going to have a couple slots unlocked, and that's going to be about it. But what you notice here is you have a lead survivor, and all of those, there's only specific survivors that are considered lead survivors, and they have to go in a leader slot. And then you're going to have normal survivors, which can go in that squad slot. And as you progress through the game, you'll unlock more and more squad slots. Like you can see that this one has all of these slots. This squad, I haven't unlocked this slot yet. And similarly, I haven't unlocked the last slots in these squads for really any squad. The other thing that's kind of interesting here is you're going to see that you're looking at your lead survivor is going. You can have different. I could put any lead survivor I have in here, but you notice that this is an engineering squad and this is an engineering lead survivor. She gets a bonus for being the same as the squad type. Here I've got, this is an epic lead survivor. Here I've got a legendary. The epic is better in this case than the legendary because it matches. Similarly, here I've got these guys. And again, hey look, I could put this legendary in, but I don't want to because these guys are matching on the same personality type. So every lead survivor is going to have a what squad they're the best at. So this is an engineering lead survivor, it goes in engineering squads, and its personality type is dependable. So if I put guys that are dependable in that, they will get an extra bonus for being in the same squad. The next thing to look at is each of these normal survivors, where they don't have a squad type that they're in, they have a bonus. And so this is kind of just like you're playing a matching game. You're trying to get, you're playing, the game is a whole bunch of give and take where you've got survivors that will have, this is a set bonus, trap bonus. I have 2 of 2. This guy's the only one not matching. So if I looked, maybe I would put that legendary in instead of him because he's not getting any he's not contributing to any of the bonuses. I'm just looking at his basically raw stats. He's contributing 31 power, and in this case that's 31% towards my ability, my tech damage, which is all your traps and class abilities. So I could trade it out and do this guy, and technically I would get more. My personality match goes down, but the personality match only gives that particular survivor a bonus. So it doesn't hurt my team, I would just be getting more. In this case, I'm not going to do that right now. I haven't gone through here and kind of trimmed it in a while, so I don't know. I may have some things that are less than optimal, but as you can see, like here, I've got a guy that doesn't match personality, but a legendary and gives me a better stat bonus. But you can kind of get a relative idea of that. I enjoyed, especially early on, kind of playing around with that. As you get later in the game, now I've just got so many. But at the same time, when I get, say, a lead survivor that's a legendary, it gives me a lot of excitement in going in and being able to start changing things around. This guy I don't even have I really should be putting someone else in there, but I've only got one other that's of that same type, and I don't want to use that personality type right now. So I'm leaving him as a rare, even though I have a legendary of it that doesn't match that I could put in there. I'm leaving a rare in, so it gives you kind of an idea of whether or not rares are worth anything. Obviously they are in some scenarios when comparing to legendaries. Let's go look at the quest really quick. Let me make sure I'm covering everything. Went over all the people types. I just want to touch on this because this is something that comes up. V-Bucks, that's the in-game currency. You can spend real money. You could go in here. Obviously, you can see I don't even have the $70 version. I'd have to pay $30 to upgrade. But you can go in here and you could buy more V-Bucks if you wanted to. You spend money and get V-Bucks. You see I have 650. I didn't buy any of those. I got those from doing daily quests. So every day you're going to get a new quest that gives you usually 50 V-Bucks. Some quests vary a little bit. Most of them are 50. Every day the same thing. You could also abandon one per day. Set.
Yeah.
Let me do this really quick. Okay, there we go. And with those V-Bucks you can buy loot boxes. Again, like most games. I actually saved, this is the holiday loot box. I saved this so you guys can kind of see what that means. But I could go ahead and spend 100 V-Bucks and get an upgrade llama. You will also get mini llamas for free they give you primarily gray and green items. But like all the llamas, they have a chance of upgrading and giving you better items. But you get those for free for quests all the time. For certain missions, it'll just be like an add-on. Besides all the other stuff you get in there, you'll get a free llama. Cool. Alright. Gives you a lot of good stuff early on. They become less and less valuable as the game progresses. Someone is having trouble driving outside, so sorry if that sound's coming through. But I'll give you kind of an idea. This is, like I said, this is the holiday llama. I'll go into more details about how you get those, but let's go ahead and open up a llama just so you can see it.
That's a bit of overkill.
Alright, they usually have a voice line. Some of them are extremely witty. Some of them are just, they are what they are.
Check it out!
So I'm going to go ahead and pop open my llama.
Woo!
As you can see here, you can always, if you aren't interested, you could click and speed things up. I'm going to let it play out. So you can see I'm getting some stuff. Oh, I got a purple. And that's all I got. I didn't get any legendaries, but I mean, you shouldn't expect to get a legendary. Let's see. So I got this. This is a schematic. You can see they upgraded the visuals so you can tell these guys are. This is a hero. I got some survivors. I got an XP boost. I'll go over that a bit. And then I got a few schematics. So I mean, for me, these schematics aren't worth a whole lot. For others, if you're new to the game, the green schematics might be worth something. Might be worth using early on. If you buy anything but the base pack, you'll get a copy of one of each weapon type of a blue schematic. So if you buy I want to say it's the $30 pack or above, you're going to get the ability to make a blue weapon. So at that point, I would just stick with those, even if it's not necessarily the weapon style that you want. Stick with those and don't bother investing points in the lower quality ones. Just keep getting the loot pinatas until you get something that is the style you want. Until then, use the rarer, higher quality weapons. But here you can see weapons will have bonuses. So look at the gray one, it gets a level 5 bonus. The green one will get a 5 and a 10. A blue one, it's actually kind of handy that I got one of each quality here, will get a 5, 10, and 15, and a purple one will get a 20. And so you can kind of see here that they basically random roll bonus stats onto these weapons. So I could go get another vacuum tube spear, and it's called a vacuum tube spear because it's a holiday specific weapon. These are all vacuum tube weapons. It's just the theme of this holiday, of this special event. But I could get another one, and all of these could be completely different. They could be similar. They could very unlikely that you're going to see two that are identical. I haven't seen it yet. But in theory, it's possible. I mean, these are random rolls. Random can repeat itself, right? But see, this is a level 1, and it says 1 of 10, and we'll go into that really quick. So let's go to my armory and take a look at some of my weapons. Let's just look at weapons for a moment. Get rid of these new ones. It wants me to say I've looked at them all. Okay. Alright, so weapons. You can see I've got a bunch of different weapons here. All of these that say 20 or lower are all level 1s. These that are higher, it means that I've invested points into them. So let's take a look at, say this one, I really like this weapon. It could use some more points, why not? This was an event weapon as well, and I got a legendary version of it. Its stats really aren't great. It has a bunch of bonus crit damage, which the tank Penny has a stat that she has that increases her crit damage, so it stacks well. So when I do crit, it's a crap ton of damage for a hammer that I'm sitting there just swinging back and forth. So I kind of like it, and it has a high. You can see that different things. Impact, it's got high impact. It gives you kind of a little overview of what this does. So this is hardware. So that's what weapon type it is. It's hardware. This is hydraulic. That was because that was the event type. And hammer delivers a very high knockback at a slow swing rate. So I'm not sitting there attacking super fast, but when I hit things, I have a high chance of knocking them back. Which again, for something, if you're tanking, fighting a whole bunch of things, you don't want them all beating on you while you're trying to kill them. So it works really well. Also will interrupt attacks if anything has an interruptible attack. And then the heavy attack is like your alternate fire, so your right click, excuse me. And so this one does a heavy attack that does more knockback. Hey, thematically, it makes sense. So you can level things up. Schematics, this is my schematic. Let's go back and take a look at that, see, it has the schematic. Let's look at it again. You can level it up using schematic XP. Pretty straightforward. It makes it easy to follow. Let me go ahead and give it a level up. Boom, its power goes up. So if we do that again, it's 76 now. Now it's 77. Gives it more power. Let's be reckless. Let's burn all of my XP. All right, max level reached. Now I could view evolution. Right here it says required nodes in the skill tree have not been purchased. Remember that because I will refer to that later. But you can see this takes schematic XP, this takes some specialized resource that you found throughout the game, weapon designs, all anytime you're going to upgrade. So this is currently a 3-star and I want to take it to a 4-star. So that would be like the tier 4 quality of the weapon. Anytime you go up from those tiers, you need the designs for what you're doing. So for a weapon, I need weapon designs. For a trap, I need trap designs. For a hero, I need hero. I think it's people. I don't even think it's hero designs. Let me take a look. Let's go take a look. I may have almost lied to you guys. Let's see what a hero takes. Oops, that's not heroes. Let's take a look. Training manuals. There we go. You do need it. And training manuals, whether it's heroes, survivors, defenders, they all use training manuals. As you can see, I don't upgrade a lot of guys. I've got a lot of training manuals, and it doesn't take a whole lot to do this. And as you can see on both of these, the main thing I've been missing is Pure Drop of Rain. And the required skill tree. This is also a tier 3. I haven't unlocked the ability to get to that tier 4 yet on anything. But kind of give you guys, let me clear out these exclamation points because we opened a llama, so it tells you, hey, you have something new over here. That's cool. Before we get into the skills and research, I'm just going to let you guys kind of look at what you would see. So you've got the different missions you can do. You can tell that, hey, these are green quality, it means you should be able to do it. I'm 50 power, these are 46 power. That makes sense. I should be able to do those. Even if I'm by myself, it might be hard, but I should be able to do them. Go down here. Here's a level 71. So you could imagine that a level 70 was probably going to be quite a bit harder than a level 46. And for a level 50 person, that's definitely going to be difficult. So it's red. Just like quests in most games, MMOs. I think about WoW. Hey, I've got a red quest in my quest log. Probably don't want to go do that right now. Probably if I do want to do it, I'm not going to do it by myself. Excuse me. Oh, what I was going to show you guys in there. So you'll have what's called a storm shield. This is your main base. This is your only static or persistent base in the game. As far as something that's in game, and this will give us an idea. We can go zone into it, and this should give us an idea of what you'll be looking at in game, and then we'll come back and look at the skill tree. We'll take Tank Penny because we're not really doing anything. You might, depending on what you want to do, you might take a different class. If you have a quest for a certain class, you might do that. Oftentimes I end up with constructors when I'm going into these type of missions anyways, because they have those building reductions, and oftentimes I'm building onto my base and adding a whole bunch of stuff, and so I want to save as many resources as possible so I can build as much as possible, because I overbuild in everything I do, which you will see shortly.
We're not ready to expand, but it never hurts to prepare.
So this is Canny Valley. This is the 3rd location you can get to.
You can leave anytime by selecting
Look, I upgraded something. As you can see, like, okay, I'm anticipating that some guys might come from this side. Sorry, there's a lot of wind in this map. And I've got traps down. You'll see what all these traps do if you decide to pick up the game and see if you like what they do, how they're laid out. That's totally personal preference. There's no standard. And actually, I didn't have these traps last time I was here, so I can put new traps down. So I've put some ceiling traps out. I obviously already had floor traps. Let's put some more out. Why not, right? Here I've put like a bounce trap. This is a transportation trap, essentially. Up here. This is another trap. This is your defender platform. This is how you summon defenders. But last time I was playing this, they had dealt some damage before we ended the game. Upgrade that. Alright, so let's say I want to summon in my sniper chick, and then I can say I want to give her a weapon. I don't have any snipers, so let's switch what we're doing. Here I've got one of the assault rifle defenders. I want to give her this assault rifle. I want to give her however much of my ammo I want to give her. So now she's here, and if we wanted to go ahead and do this, she would sit here and help. You can see that there's this, let's see, when I get, maybe if I look at her, it kind of went away. Well, it was there for a second, now it's hidden. There's a blue box. It's one square, one of these tiles, away from the thing, and that's where she will try to stay. She will try to maintain staying in this zone, and she'll try not to go out of it. Really, and then the other thing that you're going to get into in this game is the crafting. Obviously, I built this. This isn't super complex, relatively straightforward building. You kind of build whatever you want by changing. There's 3 material types: wood, stone, metal. By kind of playing around and changing which things are visible, you can be like, okay, I want to build that. Okay, it's a wall with 2 windows. I can see that. Maybe I want to change it up. Okay, that's a kind of this half wall. You can actually walk up this. It's kind of interesting. There's some, there's some interesting designs you can kind of come up with. Hey, look, I made a door. I don't need this here. I'll forget why I put it there next time I'm in here. So there we are. Gives you kind of a brief overview. Let's go ahead and take a look at what the inventory screen looks like while you're here. So when you're looking at your inventory, squad, this is me. You get squad bonuses that are effective when you're in the game like this. I won't go into too much detail, just know that certain heroes will say on them, this gives a, let's see, I click on her, this gives a support squad bonus, supports the little, what is that, an umbrella? There we go, I can find words. And then tactical, there you are, tactical squad bonus. These both give bonuses. This one gives a bonus to anybody, increases shield. This one gives a bonus to constructors. I'm playing constructor, seems like a good idea. I'll leave it at that. They have a bunch of different bonuses. If you get the game, it'll be a fun thing to kind of look at. Sometimes, I don't really plan on ever playing this guy, but I'm going to level him up because he gives a percentage of his base stats to whoever I'm playing, plus his bonus. So I want to get him as high up as possible because that's going to buff whoever I'm playing. Makes sense. Sorry about that. Alright, so, and then your defenders. I have 3 mission defenders. If you noticed, so here's my, remember I have a pistol guy, an assault rifle, and a sniper. When I went to summon somebody, we'll unsummon her. You notice how I have an extra pistol. Now, here's where we kind of start breaking the rules. This is what's called, like I said earlier, your storm shield. Your storm shield is different than any other mission because this is, like I said, persistent. Obviously all this was here and I had built it myself early on, and this isn't going to go anywhere unless I decide to destroy it like I destroyed that wall that I had made. Otherwise this will be here as long as I play the game, right? But what I was getting to is that you will have be able to assign, and it's limited at first. Eventually, if you want to spend the research points on it, again, we'll get to not research. If you want to spend the skill points on it, that we're going to go over later, you can get one of each defender type that you can assign to that specific storm shield. So I have a extra defender assigned to this storm shield. I can't take that defender with me when I go do any other missions, but when I'm here, even if I have a group of 4 people, I can still summon that defender. So it's kind of a, here's your important area. We're going to give you some extra way of, making it your own. let's say that I know, hey, I always get guys that come up this ramp. I want a defender here to shoot them. No matter who I have playing with me, I want that defender here. Okay, I'm able to put that defender platform, and I know that every time I play this map, even whether I'm playing by myself or I'm playing with 4 people, I can summon that defender to do that. And so that, whether or not you care about that, up to you, but that's something that I think that's kind of cool. Makes this game mode feel a little bit different than the normal going out on missions. So we're going to go ahead and go back. Hey, the score screen. We did build a couple things, I guess. Probably won't get any XP because we didn't really do anything. You see I'm almost leveled. Oh, I got 38 bonus XP, 77 total. Look at that. We gained some XP. Can't even see the bar move. I don't know why I would have a loot chest. I guess it doesn't matter because even if you finish, you get something. Let's see what it gives us. Normally for that type of a mission, I probably would have ended up, if it was a mission I could do, would end up with several thousand XP of some sort. Yeah, we didn't even get anything. Okay. So, as I was saying, we'll go into the skill tree a little bit. So here's your level 1 skill tree. When you first start the game, the first thing it will do is say, it'll even give you a quest to do it. Go unlock the first node of your skill tree. Cool. Here's that first node. Allows you to play a constructor. Oh, that seems helpful, right? You'll start getting, gives you a better harvesting tool, which we didn't really get into, but you saw me break that wall down. That was with the axe, that was your harvesting tool. That's how you're going to gain resources throughout the game. And you can see you can get different ones. Here's where you start being able to do the research skill tree. And if we kind of scroll over here, you can see that it does, once you get through the, basically, here's the tutorial of what you can do. Here's your first defender. Hey, look at that. Now you can start making choices. Now eventually, as you can see here, I've got almost every node unlocked on this skill tree. Part of that's because I like to complete everything, but the other part is, if you look, okay, it doesn't say it anymore because I already unlocked it, but it would say requires you to have spent or unlocked X number of skill points in this tree. And if I go back and look, I want to say that it was something like 65. So I had to have 65 of these 72 nodes that I have unlocked already. And all of these nodes, I'm in skill tree 1, it takes 1 point to unlock. Now, before I even got out of here, I got up to a player level where I started every time I leveled gaining 2 points, so I was starting to stockpile these points and I didn't have anything to spend them on, and I was like, well, I might as well just unlock some of these things that I think are cool or could be helpful down the road. But you notice these where it has a 2-star. This is unlocks the ability to level a soldier to a 2-star. That's how you unlock that. You would notice, let's see, where is it in this tree? Here's, you get to this node, you unlock the ability to play a ninja, you get to, not that one. That one. You unlock the ability to play an outlander. If you, here's where I'm going to make a note towards different versions of the game. If you buy a version of the game that gives you one of those heroes, so anything but the base version where you get those 8 rare heroes, you will automatically be able to play them. Now, that can be a little bit confusing because you haven't unlocked the ability to play them, but they didn't want to. At least when last time I had someone that started playing the game, they don't want you to have gotten something and then have it locked behind basically doing quests and playing the game. They gave it to you, it's yours to play. Play it. So you get to kind of bypass them. You will still need to unlock this node to get this node unlocked. So you wouldn't be able to upgrade them until you unlock that node. So just go ahead and unlock the node. It just means that you may not, if you're like, oh man, I saw this guy playing an Outlander and it looked really cool, I need to rush down to the tree and focus all my points on getting to the Outlander. You don't need to do that necessarily. But as you get points, this is kind of where you can start playing to your own flavor. So, oh, I really want to go get Like I said, go get an Outlander so I can play an Outlander. Early on, if you're playing with people your level, you may be the only Outlander because no one else has gone down the tree far enough to unlock an Outlander. Which is kind of a cool feeling. You do lose that later on, but I'll show you some of the other trees so you can see the kind of diversity that there is. Now, these trees, when I was playing back in, what was that, probably beta or early or alpha, I can't remember which one, they were very linear. You had very little, you could see where they were going, like there were a couple branches that would branch off for like 3 or 4 points and then come back. And I was like, oh, that would be really cool if they expanded that. And then you've got this. You put that first point in, you put that point in, and now you've got 5 different directions you can go, and they all go completely different areas of the tree. So if I go this way, it doesn't connect back to the branch until over here. You know, this middle branch, and always the middle branch, is how you unlock the next tree. But again, this was, hey, you have to get X number of points, so there's no rush to do that because you're going to get there. Like, you can see that I haven't unlocked everything in this tree. I haven't unlocked these couple points. I haven't unlocked a point up here because I didn't need to. I grabbed the points that I felt were most pertinent and moved on to the third tree. And here's where you can kind of see where I am in a tree. You can see I'm kind of pushing down this bottom side, but a lot of times, like this node, I could not unlock until I had spent 35 points in the tree. And this was my 36th point, or 36th node in the tree that I unlocked. And all of these cost 3 apiece to unlock, and every time I level I get 3. Makes sense also. Pretty straightforward. But you can see here's where you get, oh, I can unlock the rifleman slot in that storm shield defense that we just saw. I typically, at this point in the game, I don't need them heavily, but there might come a point where I do, especially when you get towards those higher numbers. I think I've only done 1 and 2 of the Storm Shield defense on Canny Valley. I haven't gotten up to doing Storm Shield defense 7, 8, and 9, which is where you get way more difficult. Just tons more waves that are attacking, things like that. But like, oh, I like to build a lot, so I went and made sure I got the bonus supplies when I do one of my skills that you can do, which I didn't show you. Reminds me, I'll go back to that in a second. And so it just kind of gives you an idea of what you're looking at. You know, I should have unlocked this guy. Here's another one of those survivor slots and those squads that we were looking at earlier. So when I unlock that point, another one of those locked boxes will unlock, and I'll be able to assign a survivor, which will give me straight stat bumps. So you can see where that ties in. Research. Research, as you saw me click earlier as I was talking, I just clicked because it was there and I'm used to doing it. I actually just went back and made sure I had all of these because they didn't cost anything in comparison to the higher tiers, and they still give me a fair amount. This +3 resistance, this is literally 3% resistance, so I think I'm probably somewhere in the ballpark of 400 or 500% right now total. But here you can start doing things. Here's some more of those slots that I was talking about. And this is really the only mechanic outside of, say, your daily quests that is a time-based mechanic. So this tells me I get 163 research points per hour. And I can hold 4,000 before it will stop accumulating, and then I have to click collect. It goes into my pool of research points. I can hold, right now, a ridiculous amount. But now this is back at 0, so it'll collect back up to 4,000 before it'll stop accumulating. Kind of take a look at, here's the tree that I'm going back and filling those old trees. I got all the cool things I wanted. But you can see where I've unlocked a lot of what might be considered the most important points. Like, here's another slot. As we saw back, a lot of those guys I had were in like the 30 power range, as compared to this, which is 5. So 5% for that point, 30% for that point. You can see where that might be important. This may look overwhelming right now, these trees. Feel free to just gloss over it. You'll get there. And so I'm not going to go into any more detail than that. I'm looking forward to hitting Skill Tree 4 and seeing what's in here. I haven't even gotten there yet. So plenty for me left to do, and I spent a lot of time in the game, which is where I will say the game is worth buying. It's worth the money. this is, I guess I should say, this is another time-based thing that they put in with this release of the game. And you can send your heroes out to do things. Let's see, let's go ahead and put one of these together. I've got a mission I can go send these guys on, and this gives me a bonus if I pick a soldier, so let's go ahead and grab one of my soldiers. I need 120 power and he's 19, so let's get us another 35 or so power. We'll just send another soldier, why not? So I need 120, 136. It's got a 100% chance of success because I'm overpowered. If I didn't send this guy, you can still do it, but it would not be enough power, so the success chance would go down. This is just a resource to do it. We can go ahead and say start expedition. And then if we go back and look, that expedition is in progress. In 8 hours, I can come back and see if I did it successfully, which we know because we just looked at it. I will, I guess, to look at ones that may not. Hey, look at these ones. Well, that's almost 300 power, and the highest thing I can assign to it right now is only 123. Yeah, it would take me assigning quite a bit of power here to have a chance at it. And I'm not really, excuse me, I'm not really worried about doing that right now, so I'm not going to bother. Let's see, so let's just, it's a good overview. The other thing I guess I will touch on really quick, we'll look a little bit more at the events. So this, they just added this. This is their event purchase screen. So they're letting you get some of the event stuff. It used to be just out of those llamas, so it was you basically did the event stuff as much as you could just to get get enough event tokens or event tickets, whichever it is for that event, to buy those llamas to then have a chance at getting something and try to keep getting as many of those as possible to unlock all the cool things for that event. Now there's a few things that you can get, including V-Bucks, just by playing in the event maps. In addition to sometimes, like this is one of the event heroes, cool, I can get it. And then with that they added a weekly rotation for the same thing. So here's some stuff that I can buy, and you see these items right here. These are what you need to upgrade the rarity. So they just added it into the game. You can see, okay, I think to upgrade from an epic to a legendary, when we're talking about heroes, it's 100. So I need quite a bit. So I'm going to go ahead and buy some more of that because I need it. Because I'm trying to upgrade that tank penny to a legendary. And see, I don't have enough. It's like, oh. And it'll actually tell me here. There's text over it, so you can't really see it. Chat's hiding stuff. Let's see if I can hide chat. There you go, Founders Channel. No one's talking in the Founders chat. You can see I have 60 to 75. I need to go do another mission to get more. Makes sense. And then a lot of events, they'll either have special things when you look at this, and this one I think has both. So this one, here's a storm. You see this, it has some special properties to this game, this mission. If I go do it, you can see how it has these little things. So this is the storm icon. This is the one for this particular event. It has mini bosses. We'll go look at my quests, and I have event quests just for this event. And I believe here's a quest: kill an epic mini boss in a successful mini boss mission. So if I go to one of those missions and participate in killing the mini boss, I will get an extra 20 Season of Gold, which you just saw me use to buy that upgrade flux. Okay, it makes sense. And oftentimes they have other cool things, like there's a lot of the husks or zombies or whatever you want to call it in this game that are dressed up in festive wear, and if I kill those, they're calling them little evil helpers. If I kill 750 of those, I'm going to get 500 tickets. We go back and look at that loot. It costs 1,000 tickets to get this. Okay, again, relatively straightforward, but a lot of different things you can do. Then we'll look at, sometimes they'll have these, and Survive the Storm. They came out with a Survive the Storm event quite a while ago. It had mixed reactions. I haven't done this one yet. I'm looking forward to it. So I'm looking forward to see what they've done differently. So this is a special event only mission type. So you can't do this unless you're playing in the event. And just for example, these are like 3 days. That means you're going to have 3 waves or 3 cycles where day 1 it'll say, hey, go protect this thing. You'll build up, you'll protect it. It'll send a bunch of waves at you. And then afterwards it'll say, all right, well now we need to protect what we just protected and this other thing over there. So go build over there, and then as soon as the timer hits 0, you start, and all these waves will come attacking both of them. And then day 3, and it might be, go get a third one. And you're going to protect that at the same time. Or, hey, we need to expand one of those ones that you were protecting, so maybe some of the defenses you had don't cover it anymore, so you got to go enhance those defenses, and then it's going to keep attacking again. Obviously, the longer the time frame, the harder it gets. The waves get stronger and stronger every day. So the 7-day, the power level of the enemies is going to grow to a larger amount. You're going to be having to protect more and more real estate, and so you're going to be bringing all those things, the heroes that you bring in, the weapons that you can make, the traps, which we didn't look at too much, but the traps that you can make and where you put them, that's going to test a little bit more of the strategy part of you. And that's the whole point of the events, is to kind of be fun, be different, and kind of let you do that, let you see something that's different, requires different strategy than the normal missions that you're used to doing any other day of the week. So let's go ahead and do one of these missions, just so you can see it. If you don't care, this is where well, let me take that back. We're going to do a mission here in just a second. I want to cover which version of the game you might want to get first, and then I'll go into more detail during the mission, perhaps. But if anybody really doesn't want to take the time to watch me play through an entire mission, I want to get to this so that you can stop watching there. If you keep watching, awesome. So let's get to that. Standard game. Just standard game. Like I said, you're going to get access to everything in the game. You don't have to ever spend money beyond the standard game, and you can have what everybody else has. It just comes down to chance, right? Do you get that drop out of your llama? How quick do you get llamas? How quick are you getting up and rolling in the game? That's really what you're looking at here. The deluxe edition. That's the one that gives you, let's take a look at it right here. It gives you a weapon starter pack. So you get, it looks like kind of a copy of a bunch of the basic weapons. Excuse me. That's cool. Looks like also gives you a blue quality trap. That's pretty cool. I mean, you're going to get some things that you're not reliant on that luck any longer to have at least a copy of it, right? I want to have a shotgun that is decent. Okay, well, there you go. Here's a blue shotgun for you. Now, if you say, well, I don't really like I would like one of these other types of shotguns, well, that's up to luck, right? But you have a shotgun to use. That's the idea here. Same with that should give you, the starter hero pack, which is one of each sex per class. Now, that's kind of a convoluted way to say it. So better, you're going to get 2 of each class type, and it's kind of the basic, like kind of the staples of each class. So you're going to get 2 soldiers, 2 outlanders, 2 constructors, and 2, what did I miss? Ninjas. And for each of those, you're going to get 1 of the male model, 1 of the female model. Male and female, what they've kind of done is they've actually expanded as they've been releasing more and more events. What you can do now is, no matter what you like to play, it looks like whether they have it in the game now or it's coming down through the pipeline. Let's say I really like Tank Penny. If I really didn't want to play a female model and wanted to play a male version of Tank Penny, it's either in the game now or will be coming in the game in the future. It'll be its own model, it'll have its own look, but maybe it has all the same bonuses that Tank Penny has. So you don't have to worry about not liking how necessarily liking how a model looks. Outside of the clothing, I mean, Tank Penny looks like Tank Penny. You're not going to get a Tank Penny reskin. That's not going to happen, except for the male version, right? as you level them up through those tiers, they get more accessories and things, and they might get different colored like headgear or backpack, and you can turn that on and off. So that's kind of where your customization comes in. If you are really kind of doing that, sticking to these are the stats that I want versus this is what I want to look like. And some people you're gonna have people that are on both sides of that, right? Some people are gonna be like, I really like how this ninja really looks cool, and so then they kind of tailor their play of the ninja to that ninja because they really like how that ninja looks, and so they enjoy playing it every time they log into go to a mission. They really enjoy playing that ninja. Maybe it's a ninja that not a whole lot of people got, those type of things. Sure. To be fair, not most people play Tank Penny. It's something I just really personally enjoy. Same type of thing. So let's scroll down. Let's go to the next edition. So that was the deluxe edition. One thing we didn't touch on. Oh, so in that, before I leave the deluxe edition, you get pinata packs. So if we go back to that loot screen, you will get a daily loot pinata, which may be an upgrade llama. I believe it. Let me see if I can hit here. Daily rewards. So you can see I'm out of Founders updates. So every day you would also get a llama. It may be just an upgrade llama. It may be a different type of llama. Sometimes it looks like they kind of every so many days you got a different type of llama, like a special, hey, you got a weapon llama or you got a trap llama. And so they do kind of throw that in there a little bit. And then you also get exclusive Founders loot pinatas. Now the Founders one, there's a subset of items. We'll go over there real quick. Scroll all the way down here. Uh-oh, I don't know where it went. Now there's a set, it may be that you couldn't put them in the book, excuse me, of Founder quality items. Yeah, I think you could not put them in the collection book, so let's go take a look. I know I have some of them. So here's one of the pistols that I really like was out of one of those Founders only pinatas. This is a Founders Lawbringer. And now the big thing about the Founders weapon is they do actually give you a slight in-game advantage of the very first thing you see. How if we look at a lot of these weapons, it's kind of gray, blue, and it more or less correlates to that same rarity track of the gray. This item roll or this stat roll was a common stat roll. This was kind of the uncommon. This was the rare or low end, medium end, high end, right? And sometimes you'll get weapons that, as you can see, like there, here I got 2 low end, a medium, then a high, then back to a low. That's possible. Here I got a low as my level 25. It is possible, right? And I want to say I think I have a weapon like this one. It's 15 and 20 were both high end rolls. So I mean, this has actually got a lot of really good stats rolled onto it when I got that weapon. So this one, every Founders starts with what's equivalent to a high end at level 5. So it doesn't take you very long to get to where that weapon is useful, especially as a new player. And it's always one of these elemental types. So something I didn't go into a lot of detail because it's not important to someone just coming into the game is they have this concept of elemental damage. And you don't see it until you've been in the game a while. It doesn't even happen until really the second zone. And if you looked back when I was looking at the map, I'm on the 3rd zone. Kind of give you a perspective, I'm relatively early in the 3rd zone. So when you get into the 2nd zone, you start seeing elemental, and it's essentially fire, water, nature, and rock, paper, scissors, right? So water beats fire, fire beats nature, nature beats water. And what it comes down to is if you are using an elemental weapon, or if one of those elemental husks appears, they by nature take less damage. They are stronger. If you have an element that they are weak to, you deal a ton of bonus damage to those guys. If you have one that they're strong against. So let's say they are water and you have a fire weapon, your weapon's going to do even less damage than a normal weapon. If it's the same, it's the same. It's like a normal weapon, normal husk, wash, right? Basically, it bypasses the reduced damage portion of the show. And then they have a third or a fourth type, which is energy, which doesn't have the bonus against anybody, but is good against everybody. Hey, that's cool. You can also see, if you've been reading this, the word affliction goes by. Don't worry about the word affliction. It's essentially a damage over time. So when I shoot somebody with this, they also take a little bit of damage over time. You might get into something later, like I've had some guys that do bonus damage to the targets that are afflicted, but even at my point in the game, I don't see a whole lot of it, so don't even worry about it. But the point here is that these weapons all start with that buff, and it's 10% weapon damage as whatever, so this is water, and changes the damage type of the weapon to water. So that seems like a good thing to have pretty much right out the gate, 10% bonus damage on a weapon that's, I believe, guaranteed epic, so purple quality or higher. I think they're all purple quality. I don't think you can get legendary. Don't remember, but I don't have any. So from my experience and from the experience of people I played with, you don't get any legendaries. That may have changed. But that's kind of what you're getting out of those. And it looks like you also get an immediate loot pinata packs, which is probably, again, I don't remember perfectly, but probably 5 of these upgrade llamas. The first time you log in, you have access to those. So, hey, welcome to the game, and here's some loot right out the gate. That seems pretty good. So, grand total of 33 total loot pinatas of assorted types. Minimum upgrade, right? Upgrade or better would be a good way of looking at it. The other thing you get is inventory slots, which I didn't get to either. And they, again, another thing they just added to the game that it wasn't here before, was being able to look at your inventory, which is amazing. Oops. Let's see. So if you look here, so this is vault. So this is my vault. You can see my inventory. I'm using, between all my schematics and all my guys across all, every type, I am using 217 slots out of my total 325. Now, I got a bunch of these extra inventory slots, and early on, it's definitely probably helpful. As you can see, I'm over 100 under, so that 50 probably doesn't mean a whole lot to me at this point in the game. I also have a bunch of points that I've, through those skill trees that we looked at earlier, that have unlocked more inventory slots, so keep that in mind. And the other thing, this one doesn't have it. Oh, the icons. You can see I've got an icon. It's, you get different ones for having, the higher packs have different ones, and that's the only way you can get them. Sure, this was an event icon. I could only get it for participating in that event and succeeding in some of the missions. That's whatever. I wouldn't put too much focus on that being your draw. It's just an extra bonus. It's kind of cool. You can kind of show off, hey, I got this version instead of the base version. Okay. And then boosts, the last thing that you get. So boosts, I actually need to reboost myself. Look, I'm out. So I have 41 personal boosts and 58 team boosts. And you get, for the deluxe version, you get 10 and 10, right? So if I use an XP boost, boom, 30% XP boost. So what this means is up to a maximum of, excuse me again, this much XP. And if I use another one, up to, look, that much XP. Makes sense. When I do a mission, however much XP I got for the mission, I get an extra 30% on top of that XP boost. Rested XP, if you're familiar with MMOs, same concept. And you get a daily XP boost as well, so keep that in mind. Party boost, you give someone a 10% boost to their XP. Now, if I have this active and someone else is my party and they give me 10%, they do stack, so that's really cool. Keep that in mind. So if you're playing with me and you join my party, and I can give you a teammate boost and you can give me a teammate boost, and we all get extra XP and we level faster. Cool. Leveling faster gets you more skill trees. You still have to go through the quest chains, but obviously you can do tougher and tougher missions and perhaps more fun, less fun, up to you. All right, well, let's go back up and take a look at the Super Deluxe. So Super Deluxe, you get the same thing. You get the weapons, you get the heroes, you get the defenders that we talked about, so you get exclusive. You actually saw when we were in there, I was summoning one of the, see, I have as mine, these are the 2 defenders you get. And I'm still using them, so I mean, I don't know if that says something good or bad, but, and you can see if you look closely, this says Epic Games on his shirt. So that's kind of cool, but you get these 2 defenders for buying that. So you get defenders out the gate, purple quality defenders. They were really my only purple quality defenders for quite some time. And it was a pistol and assault rifle. You get pistols and assault rifles relatively easily. So it was easy to equip them with good weapons, and they were useful. I would definitely say they were useful. More pinatas. I mean, you really get more pinatas. Which again, more in-game loot. If you look at it, it costs $10 for 1,000 V-Bucks, so $10 for 1,000 V-Bucks, and that would buy me 10 pinatas, 10 base pinatas. So a buck a pinata, when you're looking at it, and this offers 47. What did we say? The last one was 35. So you could equate that to another $12 in value on top, right? In addition to all the other things you're getting, right? Which the biggest other thing that you're getting for the Epic version is 1 bonus standard base copy. So another base copy of the game. I know what I did, which is I asked someone else, hey, are you interested in getting this game? They said yes. I said, hey, instead of us both going up buying the game, I'm thinking about getting the Epic version. Do you want to just buy my bonus copy? And they're like, they don't care. Sure, why not? All right, cool. So I get all these extra cool things, and I get someone to play with, and everybody's happy, and I didn't pay really any more than someone who bought the lower end version of the game. Win-win, right? So keep that in mind. 100 extra vault inventory slots. Again, you can see if I didn't have that 100, I would be getting pretty close to maxing out my inventory, and I have already sold off all of the you saw that I've gotten some recently that I haven't sold off, but all of the green and white items, and I have to make sure I keep selling all those off so I don't cap out. And if I didn't have that extra 100, I would be way more concerned about that, right? You can see all that. Extra banners. This is the first one that gives you the exclusive Founders Chat. I mean, you can see how talkative it is, but it's there. It's kind of a cool perk. And then it's 20 and 20 for the boosts instead of 10 and 10, so twice as many XP boosts, right? You do get XP boosts throughout the game. Obviously, you can imagine that I've used some and I have a whole bunch. So, I mean, kind of take that for what it is as far as value. You're not going to get those XP boosts early on in the game. Like, I'm pretty sure I got them for collection books and things much later in the game. So, if you want to get up and get rolling quickly, those XP boosts are going to be useful. You're going to see the benefit of them right away. Especially if you have friends that are already playing and you want to kind of get that boost to catch up to them, so you're feeling useful in the games that you're playing together. Those might be worthwhile. All right, and I think that's it for that one. So let's go back up and take a look at the limited edition. So again, the biggest thing here is that you're getting 2 copies of the base game. So right now at 50% off, the limited edition is, what is it, 70 or 75? And the base game is 20. So if you really look at it, if you have people that are looking at buying the game and you can sell them both the base game for 20, that's 40 out of your 75, you're only looking at $35 for your copy of the game. Absolutely worth it. Not even a doubt in my mind that $15 is worth everything you're getting here. Personally, if I wanted to upgrade, I would need to spend $30 to upgrade from my Epic to the Limited. and it's not quite worth $30 to me to get the difference. But again, that's not what we're talking about, right? You were talking about $15 potentially. I would be talking about 30. Way worth it for you. So exclusive legendary hero pack. Now you pick a class and you get 2 legendaries, and it looks like a male and a female of that class. Now it says exclusive legendary hero pack, and since I haven't had it, I didn't buy this. I'm not sure. This may be the only way you can get those heroes. I'm not sure. If it is, that's what's been tempting me to get it, and if anybody does get it and finds that out, I would love to hear back from you because I'm really interested. But you get that, and I believe a weapon that correlates to what those classes use. So Outlanders, a lot of times they use pistols, so you'll probably get a really cool looking pistol that you can only get that way. Again, you still get all the rare weapons, you get all the rare heroes, you get your defenders. Last time we were at 47 pinatas, now you're getting 99 pinatas. So that's, if we go by that same math, that's $42 value in pinata. If it's $1 a pinata, and I know you get a lot of those pinatas are going to be Founders pinatas, which get even better stuff than the base pinata, so keep that in mind. We already talked about the 2 copies, 200 vault slots. So for me, if I upgraded, I would have over 400 vault slots right now, and I'm using 215, so take that for what it is. Extra backpack inventory. Now, we haven't really gotten into this too much, but the backpack is how much stuff you can carry on you. That's all your crafting materials when you're actually playing the character. So currently, my character, I believe you start with 60, or I started with 60, you may start with less. I believe I started with 60, and now I have 150. And I've gotten all that through skill tree nodes that give me 5 at a time, and I've gotten up to 150. So, with that in mind, 10 inventory slots, and I right now, when I get into the game, I'll show you, I'm at 150 of 150, and I would love to get more inventory slots, like as far as backpack slots. That would be huge for me. More exclusive banners, still with that voice chat. Now you're looking at 40 and 40 instead of the 20 and 20, so twice the number of boosts, which again, looking at it, especially if you're looking at the fact that you get those 2 extra copies, so you have hopefully the friends that you can play with to give the friend boosts, you could be progressing through those early missions rather quickly, which would be kind of nice. So yeah, I mean, that's a much longer and more in-depth overview than I'd planned on giving originally. So if you've stuck around this whole time, awesome, thanks. Let's go ahead and give the game a go. If you've played the base game, you kind of know what it looks like, what it feels like. We're going to look at what the objectives are actually like. We'll try to find a relatively straightforward one, so that we don't have to... we might actually, let's go down to an easier difficulty just so we can do it a little bit faster. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at one of these. That's actually my difficulty. That's some really good stuff. I might do that one instead. Let's just go ahead and do this one. Alright, so retrieve the data. Actually, that one's even longer. Let's go down to one of the ones you'll do early on. Alright. Yeah, let's just go ahead and do this one. Let's go ahead and do the mini boss. Pure Drop of Rain. I need Pure Drop of Rains anyways. See, there's enough stuff where I'm not even sure what I want to do. So, I mean, it obviously shows you that there's not like here's the biggest thing that I see in games is there's mission types that you absolutely hate to do and avoid, and mission types that you want to do every time you see them. I don't really get that here in this game. I don't hate any of them. There's some that I don't like as much, particularly Evacuate the Shelter, but I've just played one earlier today before I started this that was Evacuate the Shelter, so I mean, you do see it. I mean, you play all of them, you play every mission type. I mean, there's reasons to play each mission type too. That's another thing to kind of think about. Should we keep playing Tank Penny? Yeah, let's play more Tank Penny. Tank Penny's awesome. So this will give you a little bit more insight to what's going on. All right, so looking at that, oh, I actually broke one of my weapons last game, which I didn't really cover yet. You can see as you use items, their durability goes down. When it breaks, you'll need to make a new one. Here you can see I need these resources, which I have plenty of right now. Occasionally, and especially early on, you'll be using a lot of them. You can find weapons and traps throughout the game. So I can just go and maybe I open a box and a weapon pops out and I get a weapon. And it's like, oh, cool. Early in the game, you find a lot of those. Later in the game, you don't see quite as many. That was an Outlander only item, so I don't need it. So I'm going to sit here. I need some more resources for this. Gather some resources as I do it. I don't know where I'm going. Let's see. What was our objective? So we're doing a Ride Lightning, and it's just a mini-boss, nothing special. I'm going to go ahead and use metal because I've got a lot of it. So yeah, all these maps, like I was saying earlier, randomly generated. I'm going to adjust my volume. One thing that you might notice is, so I crank up my sound effects volume when I play the PvP version because I like being able to hear people running around. There's a lot of noise that goes on when I'm playing this version, the PvE version, and so I turn it back down just because you get a little bit bombarded with noise, so just things to keep in mind. Different people like different things, obviously. Settings are settings. You should be used to that from playing just about any game. Let's go ahead and see if we can find that van that we're looking for. Just in case they walked right past it, we'll go look over here. My backpack is full. Discard some items. If you look at what's filling my backpack, it's crafting materials. I've got a ton of crafting materials. That was odd. It took the game a little while to catch up to the fact that I had looted something that I couldn't hold. But again, here's a weapon. You know, I picked up this weapon and I can't actually use it or hold it, so it's sitting there on the ground. What kind of... Yeah, I don't really need this weapon right now. Let's take a look at it. So I'm going to get rid of this, recycle that, which will destroy it, and pick that one up. Or not. I must have picked up something else earlier as well that capped out what I can hold. I picked up some more of those. So let's drop those just so I can show you. Alright. And I have it set to where when you pick up something that's better, it automatically equips it. So I had a pistol in that slot, and it equipped this new pistol. I'm actually going to switch that to that. So there we are. Here I have a new pistol. A little SMG. I know some people that I play PvP with that this would be the gun that they would just pick and run around with, and oh, there we are. You can see the exclamation mark on the map. That's the objective. And I'm going to run over there because I want to get this going quick and show you guys as much without keeping you here forever. So let's go ahead and head over there and get started. Blue glow, you'll find out what what you need. I guess the other thing I didn't go over is that you will get skills in that start game screen. I should have gone over it and didn't. My squad, obviously, my abilities, and then gadgets. So you unlock the ability to get gadgets, and you unlock different gadgets. I pretty much always use these two. Don't take that as these are the only two people should use, because I'm a little bit of an oddity in this, in which I always have supply drop because I always want the bonus resources. A lot of people will have the more offensive skills, so I have supply drop for bonus resources and a heal. And I take damage, like I just jumped off that cliff, and I didn't have to worry about taking damage and not being able to heal it up because I have the skill that heals me. So, I mean, again, it comes down to playstyle. They are building like mad already. I didn't even get there yet, and I'm the builder.
Sorry.
I guess it's a team of 4.
Could use a
And
rest.
we're all really high level. I don't know why we're all here. Doesn't make any sense.
Storm data has been
But
updated on your minimap.
whatever.
Build defenses around the van. Flip the switch when you're ready.
I will go ahead and...
Defend the van.
Oh man, we went... They gave no craps about defending this place. Alright,
Got a bonus in play.
so...
Hold the fort.
I was going to do some more stuff about the building and whatnot,
Shoot
but
it, stab it, or
let's
fix
make
it,
sure
we
we
got
don't.
trouble.
Okay, we look like we're doing fine. Okay, so I'm a builder. I have the special builder item. Oh, I wonder if I can put it down here. If I can, it's going to piss people off. I might do that occasionally. Yep, okay. That'll just be in people's way. Alright, my base, it applies a buff to the entire building, as you can see with those little outlines, kind of electricity outlines. This was that hammer that I was talking about earlier that has high knockback. You could see how that could be fun. Let's try that new weapon we found. There you go, it works. It does what it's supposed to do, right? It's SMG. Different weapon types, obviously. Let's see, do we got anything I can shoot that's people haven't already killed? There's a chest that people are just ignoring. Bull rush skill for a constructor. Is this a real chest? It is. So here's a chest. I get cool stuff out of it. That's, I mean, you guys could kind of anticipate that. As you can see, here's my kind of quest update status, so it shows you that my quest is, I'm progressing. Since everybody's killing everything and I don't really have to do a lot of work, I'm gonna go ahead and drop that supply. So these are the special type of husk. I don't know why he's ignoring me, but it's okay. Gives us a chance to look at them. So you have the little ones that you see, and then these are the specialty ones. Wow, they killed him fast. So these are kind of the normal average husks,
Fort's taken on husks.
and then the other ones are just specialty husks. What I just need to make sure that we hit is
30 seconds left to go.
the boss. I think won't come until the next round. This particular mission, so before I forget what I'm supposed to be showing you guys, hell was that? That was a bug. That should not have happened. So you guys get to see a bug that just happened right here. That wall should not have. Oh, you know, I bet I know what it was.
Bonus challenge success.
I'm willing to bet that there was a
Not bad.
like
I think
specialty
we'll need a
little
more blue
sub
glow.
kind of
Add blue glow and get
what
ready to
it's a good
defend the van.
phrase for it.
Flip the switch when you're ready.
Little mini objective that you can do on the map for extra stuff, and that mini objective got triggered, which would spawn some husks, and when they spawn they destroy any player built structures where they spawn, because you can't block a spawn.
Check your
Yep,
map
someone
for
started a
updated storm
blue glow siphon.
Activate final launch sequence when you're ready.
Right. I remember seeing it on the map somewhere. And that's what that was. That's
You serious?
why they were spawned there and destroyed our stuff. And occasionally you get people that really don't know what they're doing or aren't paying attention and do stupid things like that. Obviously it wasn't the end of the world, so life goes on, right?
Deadlier by the second. Can I rest?
Go ahead and upgrade some of these things, because here. Did we start the next one? I'm starting it. Okay, so the whole point of this objective. Here's Lars, he's in a van. We need to defend him while he fuels up and gets ready to leave. We built a little bit of a kind of base just blocking him. Now you will notice early on, you could just build a one high wall around something and it's going to be safe. But as you see those things right there, that would be potential trouble if you had a one high wall and they shot above the wall and it would hit your objective that you're trying to defend. So you usually try to put a roof on it of some sort. With this particular one, it blocks you from doing so until you're 3 tiles high. And see, they put a roof after they got to where they could put the roof. Was that they already killed the boss? We need to... I remember seeing the boss, or hearing the boss. Looking for a boss, looking for a boss. That looks like could be a boss.
We're taking damage, guys.
That would definitely be a mini boss.
Wish I could.
Leaving stuff behind it, causing all sorts of trouble, not dying from what would normally kill a husk of this size. Alright, see, I finished another piece of a... got quest progression. Finished that one that was kill 1, and I have another quest that says kill 10, so... Again, you can see the quest progression in there. With this lower difficulty, it was relatively straightforward. We didn't... You could spend a lot of time going around gathering things. Looks like everybody in this game was on the same note of kind of just looking to get it done quick, which you can do it however you want. If I didn't set it to allow anybody else to join me, well, 2 things. One, I would have had to pay a lot more attention. I wouldn't have been able to kind of go over a lot of things and still get the mission done quickly. But if I set it by myself, I could do whatever I wanted at my pace. And you could even say leave early. I mean, I could right now go ahead and leave mission. The catch there is that I would not get credit for any quest progress that I made during this game. So my quest progress would all revert to how it was before I got into this game. But any resources that I gained or spent would still be gained or spent.
Nope.
So I'm now have quite a bit more stone, and I'm maxed out on wood. I think I might have a little bit less metal, but that would be how I am. Next time I join a game, I would have exactly this amount of resource. So keep that in mind when you're playing the game. Excuse me. And since it's not going to put me over build limit, I'm going to go ahead and build some cool things just because I'm going to be obnoxious. What else should I build? Alright, I'm going to drop my supply.
30 seconds left to go. Stay in the fight.
Just in case anybody wanted to be a jerk and come take stuff from me. You don't see it really happen that often. I'm just kind of looking, what can I drop? I don't really have anything I want to drop. So I guess I'll just leave those on the ground.
Launch in 3, 2, 1. Lift off.
And
Bonus challenge success. Good
we'll
job,
see
team.
the van leaving.
I love a perfectly
Potentially.
launched van.
Oh, there goes. I don't know where the balloon is. I have a graphical glitch there. But there we are. There we are. So, I did give myself the boost, so we'll see that go into effect. So, I will level here. That's how much I got for the game. There's my boost XP, there's my daily bonus. And I'm going to get the rewards that were promised. I just hit escape to cancel the animation. And go in here. And... Alright. There we are. There we have it. So you can see I got my rewards, finished my quest, and that should be, I mean, there's your overview of Fortnite. It gives you a good idea. Again, I went into way more detail than I had originally anticipated going into, but there we have it. Hopefully this kind of gave you a better understanding of what, oops, sorry, Kat, what this game is and what goes into it. And now you have a better idea of what you want to spend or not spend on it. So thanks for watching.